Welcome to Main Street Stories. I'm Dewey Evans. Today, our journey takes us to Palmer Lake, Colorado, where I'm sitting and talking with the owner of Busted Barrel Furniture. His name's Paul Murphy. We're going to find out his story and the story of how he got to make some of the coolest furniture you're ever going to see.
How you doing, Dewey?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about Busted Barrel Furniture?
Yeah, well, everything we do is made from a wine barrel. So it could be a white wine barrel, a red wine barrel. We bust them open and we take the individual staves out and we create different works of art out of barrels. We do everything from indoor furniture to outdoor furniture, coffee tables, fire pits, as you can see. We do some really nice outdoor Adirondack chairs, indoor chairs, wine racks, pretty much any type of furniture you can think of for indoors or outdoors. And if we don't already have it, we can custom design it with you as well.
So what was the first project that led you to busting open wine barrels and figuring out how to make furniture out of it?
So it all started when our fence blew down. We had a big windstorm here, as you guys will get used to seeing, I'm sure. Our fence blew down. My wife, who's also a woodworker, she decided to make some Colorado flag art, some USA flag art out of our old fence panels. And just as a hobby, she put it at the farmer's market. About a week or two later, my neighbor, Doug, who we now call the Barrel Meister, he called me up and said, "Hey, you got to check out this chair I made out of an old wine barrel." And I went up and I was like, "Out of an old wine barrel?" I sat in the chair and it was one of the most comfortable chairs I've ever sat in. So I said, "Dude, we got to put this at the farmer's market in Dixie's booth and see if we can sell it. You know, let's do a little hobby side business, maybe make some extra vacation money." Doug said, "No, that'll never sell." I was like, "Yeah, no, this will absolutely sell. This is..."
So I'm guessing you did it.
So we did it, yeah. Sorry to make long story short here, but we started the booth. Within a couple weeks, we had orders coming in. Within about a month or two, we were booked 6 to 8 weeks out solid, and it's now become a full-time business.
So the wine barrels, and you said white wine. Is there a particular wine that does better than others?
Actually, there is. Red wine barrels are a much easier barrel to make furniture out of. There's not as much residue left on the inside of the barrel. We don't have to grind it all off. We can still do barrels out of white wine barrels, do our furniture out of white wine barrels, but the red wine barrels seem to have a much smoother finish on them if we're using them for things that you're going to sit on, chairs, bar stools, benches, that kind of thing. I prefer red wine barrels.
So now, do wine barrels have particular markings on them generally that you can also incorporate into the furniture? So say I wanted a Kentucky bourbon barrel.
Yeah, absolutely. The only we use strictly wine barrels for our furniture. Bourbon barrels, I don't know if it's the higher alcohol content. By the time we get those in, and we've tried a couple of them, they're usually pretty cracked and split and kind of at the end of their lifespan. So we buy still usable, high quality wine barrels, and they all come with the barrel heads marked from whatever logo, whatever vineyard they came from, whatever cooperage they're made from. And it's kind of interesting to see where a wine barrel's traveled, because we can get a barrel in from our barrel broker in California, see that it's been made in Missouri, it's gone to a vineyard in France or Italy or Australia, it's come back to California, and now we've got it back in our hands to give to one of our customers here in Colorado.
So the furniture you make, are there standardized pieces of furniture that you make, or are they mostly custom order? If I wanted a piece of furniture, could I walk into a store someplace and buy them? Do you have distributors?
Yeah, we have different retailers here. We've got one in Colorado Springs, Colorado Hardwood Lumber and Real Wood Furniture. They carry our line. We've got one in Durango, Supernova Furniture. We've got an Ace Hardware here in Flying Horse that's going to start carrying our fire pits, as well as some outdoor chairs. And we also have Gallery 132 in Monument, and Colorado Hearth and Home in the Denver Tech Center.
So this is all coming from reclaimed material, so eco-friendly, right? It's taking something that might otherwise end up in a landfill and being reused. How many places are you being distributed now? Like, are you looking to be a big national?
Our goal right now is to have 20 stores in Colorado. We're working on a couple stores in Oklahoma City right now as well. So we're about 15 shy of our goal for Colorado, but we're in talks with I'd say 10 to 15 other stores right now to work out a plan to get this in their business.
So we're in a pretty big shop. Is this where you started in this big space?
Actually, no, this space is fairly new. We rented this, started leasing this back in August, and we started out of our garage. My garage, the Barrelmeister's garage. We outgrew that pretty quickly, and took us quite a while to find a manufacturing space here in Palmer Lake, and we were fortunate enough to find this place in a beautiful location. It's exactly what we need right now.
So right now we're at the latter part of the holiday season. How was business this season?
Business was fantastic, actually. This back of our shop is usually filled with barrels. We just finished our last order to get caught up, and so now we're looking at 2019 and moving forward from there. But yeah, business took off and never slowed down.
So the process of doing this, I think of, the home improvement shows or This Old House or Norm Abrams' workshop. I walked in here and I'm immediately like, oh, I'm meeting Norm. How is the process of doing this? Is it something that somebody else could jump in and do if they wanted to? I mean, do you teach other people how to do this? I'm sure you get a lot of people coming into your shop and wanting to see how you do it.
Right. And we get asked that question a lot, actually, at the wine festivals and markets that we do. We are happy to give people tips and advice on how to do it, but it's not really something that you can just jump right into. There's a lot of intricacies in our designs, and they've improved a lot over the last few years. So there are little things that I would say the average person, even average woodworker, would have a hard time getting into doing. Because of the curve of the barrel, you've got a curve this way, you've got a curve this way, and on the inside you have the curve. So it is definitely an art to cutting the barrels to be pieced together for a nice piece of furniture.
So we have beautiful fire pit. If I were to go to one of the retail places where this is sold, how much would a piece like this cost?
Retail, these are typically going for $2,700 to $3,000 for the fire pit. They also sell them as a set with the chairs for a little cheaper, but retail just on the fire pit, it's going to be roughly $2,700 to $3,000.
If I wanted to have something custom made, who's the designer? Who creates the design?
Doug and I create that together, and we work with the customer. So I would say ultimately the customer is the designer, but we work with them to help piece that together in a way that's going to be sturdy and stable and is going to last them for decades to come.
Do you have a website with some standard products or anything that somebody could go through and just place an order for a standard piece? Or
Yeah, we do. It's bustedbarrelfurniture.com. And on the website, there's a contact page. Most of our furniture, I wouldn't say any of it's really standard because we have cutouts for wine glasses on either side. Some people prefer left or right or both. We've got different options for sealers depending on if it's an indoor piece or an outdoor piece. And so we do need to talk to the customer for each order. So it does make, even if it's not something that's fully custom, each piece is custom made for an individual.
And what's the turnaround time on an order?
Typically 4 to 6 weeks. I would say in our busy season, we're looking closer to 6. But these people that are going to want furniture in March, I would say late January, early February is probably a pretty good time to place an order to get it in time to enjoy it full season.
What's been your favorite part of this journey?
My favorite part of this journey, every piece that we design is my new favorite piece. Working with Doug and really designing new pieces and watching this business grow, I would say is right up there at the top. But my favorite part is when we're at a wine festival or a market or in a retail location and somebody walks by and says, "Hey, nice chair," and we say, "Yeah, that's made out of a wine barrel." They can't believe it. The look on their face when they sit down in the chair, and just to see how much they love the furniture that we make and how comfortable it really is, I would say that's probably my favorite part.
What haven't I asked that you think someone should really know about this business?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that all of our barrels are made from white oak. And so people ask about the longevity of our furniture. They ask if it's okay to use outdoors. And the answer to that is yes, absolutely. White oak is one of the best woods in the world that you can use for outdoor furniture. So they've made it, it's been used for centuries in barns and shipbuilding, barrel making. It's a very tight grain wood, so it's very non-porous. And so indoor furniture, outdoor furniture, whatever they want to use this for, this furniture will last for decades to come.
Were your expectations initially that this would be a full-time business, and have you been surprised at the growth that you've had?
Our initial expectations were that this would be vacation money, that we'd start selling a couple chairs at the farmer's market in my wife's booth, and that we might make enough money to take a trip to Mexico by the end of the summer. And we pretty quickly realized that our expectations were definitely off, and that we needed to ramp it up to keep up with the incoming business that we had. So yeah, we were very surprised that it's turned into a full-time business.
What would be your advice to someone else who had a hobby that they might look to make a little money that they could take a vacation with?
I would say go for it. My best advice is if you feel it in your heart and you feel it's a solid business idea and you enjoy doing it, which is even more important, then take the chance and go for it. My son right now, he started a pottery business. He's 17, he started it when he was 16, and we've walked him through that. We're working with a couple other companies right now that are startups that are asking us how we got started. So, we're always willing to reach out and help people do that. And biggest advice is listen to your gut, listen to yourself, but most importantly, make sure it's something that you enjoy doing.
So we get some really tasty drinks that we have, and I heard that you're going to be involved in an event where people will be able to come and sit in some of your furniture, check it out, as well as check out this beverage. Can you tell us a little bit about that event?
Yeah, these are our good friends at Evergood Elixirs, and they're a local winery here in Palmer Lake, just started up last May. And we are doing a sit and sip where it's on the 23rd of February, which is a Saturday after President's Day, noon to 4. And we're gonna have all of our furniture there, fire pit, a lot of different pieces, small pieces for sale. And everybody can come in and have a seat, check out our furniture, but also get to taste their great wines. They do a lemon adventure wine, lemon strawberry wine, and it's just a great way to come experience Palmer Lake, get a taste for some local made wine, and enjoy the afternoon.
So as you can see, local communities bind together to help one another. So you spending your dollars locally is going to do the same sort of thing where you spend $1 with one person, they connect with another, maybe they spend their dollars there, and the community becomes vibrant. And it's one where the people connect with each other, where you can still walk down Main Street and you run into people that you know, and you stop and you have conversations. And it really is community. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Dewey. Appreciate it.